Hey everybody, TechBoxer here. I kind of been seeing everybody talk about the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Booster Pass DLC, and I kind of wanted to make a video about it just to throw in my 2 cents and to kind of educate a little bit, just to talk about, how to get it and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get into it. For the Booster Pass, basically it's $25 for the entire DLC, but I feel like that's kind of reasonable considering the fact you get like a whole new Mario Kart game. Basically, they're adding 48 courses into the base game that's already in there, which already has 48 courses, so you get 96 courses total after this whole DLC is over with. But you can play also for free if you go online, because so far DLC courses are free to play online and with randoms. And I think if you have a friend that has the Mario Kart Booster Pass DLC, or they paid for, or they have the expansion pack service that has it included, I think you can play with your friends for free. If you don't own the pass, you can still play those courses with your friends that do have it, and you can still play the courses like that. But that means that you have to play these games behind the online wall. So when the online services go down in the future, if they ever do, take a look at the Nintendo 3DS and Wii U eShop, for example. But anyways, so if you want to play them offline, and if you want to, play the cups on the single player races and, do the game in a way, or if you want to play them, the normal way, you have to pay $25, or get the expansion pack service, which is the online subscription that allows you to get the N64 and Sega Genesis games, along with Animal Crossing DLC and Mario Kart 8 Booster Pass included in it. I'm not here to talk about the pass. I'm just saying that, or the expansion pack pass, or online service. I'm just kind of giving y'all a lowdown run on, what you can do to get this pass. But, I mean, if you didn't already pay for the pass, or if you're, not really wanting to pay for it, and you want something to budget a little bit, online service plus this isn't that bad of a deal. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about some of the courses that are already in here, because we got wave 1 dropped. These are all divided into 6 waves. So wave 1 is the 8 courses that we got not too long ago, and let's go ahead and talk about them. So wave 1 was 2 cups: the Golden Dash Mushroom Cup and the Super Bell Cup. In Golden Dash Mushroom Cup, we got Paris Promenade, we got Toad Circuit, Choco Mountain, and Coconut Mall. And then in Super Bell, we got Tokyo Blur, Shroom Ridge, Sky Garden, and Ninja Hideaway. Now, the thing with this DLC is all these courses are remasters, or some some of them are kind of redesigned, but these are all basically courses from like the past, or from past Mario games that came out, before Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Although, kinda technically, because Mario Kart Tour is still ongoing, and Ninja Hideaway, I am really confused about, because I just got back into Mario Kart Tour, but I think Ninja Hideaway was a cross release. I think it came out the same time in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as it did on Tour. I'm not 100% certain on this because I just got back into Tour. I don't know if anybody's played Ninja Hideaway before. I don't know if this is just a glitch thing and they forgot to put the Tour logo on it, but it basically has no logo, which kind of has made some of us think that, oh, it's just a cross release. They're releasing it. It was going to originally be released for Tour, but they just went ahead and put it on Switch too. So let's go ahead and talk about them. For the first one, the Mushroom, or the Golden Dash Cup, the first one is Paris Promenade. It's an alright course. I kind of like it at the end because, and a lot of these tour maps actually kind of do this, but with Paris Promenade, the first 2 laps are kind of the same. You go the same route, but then on the 3rd lap, you go like in reverse. So you can like hit people that are in 8th place, or if they're really slow, somebody in possibly 5th or 4th, if you're really fast too. And you can, like, if you're holding an item, you can hit them on your way back while you're still doing the course the right way. It's kind of like Baby Park, kind of, but it's like only one spot. Like, you have to only be in this one right place, right time scenario to be in it. But if you can manage to get in there, I'm sure you can have a lot of fun with it. It makes some people really angry. But, as far as I care, yeah. And Paris Promenade does look pretty good, actually. I think that's one of the tour maps that really outshine or stand out on the Switch, being a new, course now on Switch. The next one is Toad Circuit. From its 3DS counterpart and the iPhone counterpart, it's definitely got more detail. The sunset effect, I like that. The lighting in that one's a lot better. You can tell there's more detail in that one. The concrete, it kind of pops out like it does in all the other ones. It's kind of basic, stays true to form. It is the first course that you get on the 3DS Mario Kart, so it's basically like, a basic, beginner course. But I feel like that's alright, because, maybe this is after how many years has been 5 years since this game been released on Switch, and like it was released on 2014, 2015, like way back on the Wii U. If you still haven't gotten a Switch and still somehow haven't played Mario Kart, and you're wanting to get the DLC, and you're a beginner, it's a great course. It's good for a beginner, but they'll make like the 5th 3DS stage that they got, which is actually surprising. I really feel like we had more than 4 3DS courses in the base game, but no, we only have 4. So Toad Circuit's gonna be our 5th 3DS course. So congratulations on 3DS breaking past the 4th number barrier. Now you have more than 1 cup's worth of courses. Next we got Choco Mountain from the N64. I don't know why it is, but every single stage so far in the Booster Pass course, except for Shroom Ridge, has widened to accommodate for the 12 racers. Because you gotta remember, 12 racers wasn't a thing until Wii, and they didn't do that for the handheld versions. Handheld versions could only handle 8 carts at a time instead of 12, like in the console ones. So, the N64 courses, while they still stay kind of cramped, and so does Shroom Ridge, but we'll get into that later. It's so weird because you'll go from a course that was on like 3DS, like Toad Circuit, even though that was a 3DS course, only had 8 racers, that course was widened a little bit to where it would accommodate like 12 racers. Choco Ridge feels so cramped that you could tell that it was kind of paying homage to the N64 one, where it was kind of a smaller track, but it feels so odd because you go from wide tracks to to cramped, skinny tracks. I don't know. It makes me feel weird because I feel like I'll hit like a corner too early or too late, and I'll go flying off the edge or something. And it's just kind of something I gotta get used to now, I guess. But a lot of the courses in Mario Kart felt wide enough to accommodate for all the racers, and they just felt just right. And now you're going from courses that are kind of wide to kind of skinny, then back to wide, or you stay skinny. It's just a weird thing. And it happens on and off with certain courses. And I think that's another reason why it just feels so off, is because it's kind of jumbled in there. But it's on an alright stage. I like how they brought back some N64 stuff. The next course is Coconut Mall. Okay, here's my 2 cents. Coconut Mall is a fan favorite. Everybody loves it. I don't really care too much for Coconut Mall. And I know this is a shit take probably, but the reason why is just because, to me, I never really got the reason why people love Coconut Mall so much. And I understand it's kind of a unique setting. You're going through a mall, and you got like some interesting set pieces. Like you can go through the little clothing store and go through that shortcut and come out across the fountain. The escalators give you kind of a speed boost if you're going the right way. You can ride on rails and stuff like that. There is a lot of unique set pieces in this map, and there's a lot of neat things in it. Don't get me wrong. I never really got the hype for it. I never really could understand why it was such a fan favorite. I'm not hating on it. I just don't think it was, for me, it's not as hyped up as like everybody else puts it in their list. It was kind of one of those courses I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, at least we did get, Coconut Mall. And the interesting thing though about this one is this one was the only one other than Shroom Ridge out of the entire booster pass that never got re-released on Tour. And like I said, Tour is ongoing, so that means that we haven't had Coconut Mall since like Mario Kart on the 3DS. So it's neat that we got something back that has been kind of absent for a minute. And then the next cup is the Super Bell Cup that starts out with Tokyo Blur. Tokyo Blur is kind of the same thing as Paris Promenade, and that's what I said earlier about tour maps. They start out where like the first 2 laps are the same, and then they move on to where the second half of the race goes a different way. So, you know, your first 2 laps you'll go the same way, and then the third lap you'll go through this like overpass, and you'll just race around this like kind of spiral, and then you'll come out into the like finish line area. It's kind of a basic one. It feels like a basic Mario Kart course. It feels like for a beginner, and for that, I guess it's good. I mean, you won't have so many complex courses. You know, not every course can be like a Sky Garden or like a Coconut Mall. You know, too many sharp turns and stuff like that. But, for what it is, it's all right. But like I said, I'm not a big fan of Tour. The next course is Shroom Ridge. This is one of those courses that doesn't make sense to me because it is so skinny. It feels more cramped than Choco Mountain, which is really saying something because I think that map is really skinny. Like, that map is skinnier than Shroom Ridge. And it could be because of all the cars that drive around in the map, but it just doesn't feel like a big course. It feels like they ripped it straight from the DS. And that's, you know, paying homage to it. I'll give them that, you know, points to staying true to the source material, but it just feels really cramped. But it was an alright one. I feel like we could have gotten a different one, like, you know, Peach Garden, but it is what it is. The next course was Sky Garden from the GBA. Now, Sky Garden is my favorite Game Boy Advance Mario Kart track, and it's funny because right before this booster pass came out, I was playing Mario Kart on the Game Boy Advance for about a week or 2, kind of leading up to, you know, practice up just in case they dropped a GBA course, and I was like, man, I hope they drop Sky Garden. Like, I've been playing Sky Garden a lot, and I was just like, you know, oh man, you know, it'd be so cool if they dropped Sky Garden in this pass, and then they did, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, dude. I'm going to play me some Sky Garden whenever it comes out. And then I found out Sky Garden was kind of a little bit different. I liked what they did. It was actually a garden, because in the GBA, it was just a bunch of clouds with, like, vines and stuff. And, like, backgrounds had, like, the beanstalks coming up. There was no real garden part to it. But it was also, like, kind of one color. A lot of it was kind of greenish. So it kind of, the whole track kind of did blend in with itself, except for the clouds. The clouds was orange, you know, the ground was green. And then the vines were green. The background was kind of teal. You know, I like how they, you know, made the ground orange and the clouds white, so that way you could tell, like, the road now. But something about Sky Garden felt kind of off. I like everything they did to it, but there was just something that felt really off, and I don't know what it was. It was probably just because it was new. But Sky Garden was also, this is a weird thing. So Sky Garden on the Game Boy Advance was really cramped. Like, that was what the game was on Game Boy Advance, but for some reason on this, they had it to where it's, like, really wide. And this is the reason why I was griping earlier about Choco Mountain and Shroom Ridge, is, like, they brought back, like, Toad Circuit and Sky Garden, and these were, like, cramped levels kind of on theirs. I mean, Toad Circuit less so, but Sky Garden was really cramped back then. And they widened it. And I was just like, man, so why did they widen, like, Sky Garden, but they didn't widen Choco Mountain and Shroom Ridge, you know? It just felt weird. But Sky Garden was really cool. I like Sky Garden. And then the last map is Ninja Hideaway. This map is actually one of the more unique maps from Tour. I actually do like this map a lot. There's, like, multiple levels to it. So the really cool thing about it is there's multiple ways you can play Ninja Hideaway. Because Ninja Hideaway has, like, 2 levels. You have the top layer of the course, and then you have the bottom layer. And there's multiple routes that you can take to get on. Like, you could go on the top layer somehow. No, yeah, you could go on the top layer while you're starting out the course. You can't like, fly into the top layer on the first lap. You have to wait till the second lap to do that. but there's like a staircase you can go on the first lap and go up onto the top layer. And if you time it right, you can stay on the top layer. But if you time it wrong, you'll drop down to the bottom layer. And then you can mix matching it and stuff like that. You can take a different route, basically, that whole like cup, and do it again the next cup and take an entirely different route. There's a few different ways you can play that map out, and it's really neat. I think it's cool that they have it to where you can replay a course and take a different route each time. It adds like a fresh sense of replayability to it. But Ninja Hideaway is kind of complex. It's definitely not a beginner course. I feel like a lot of people are going to get irritated. I've seen people they have gotten irritated with it. But I feel like once everybody gets used to it, it'll probably be like a fan favorite. I'm sure a lot of people will like it. It is really odd though how that course is the only one that's been kind of glitched out, like I said earlier, where it doesn't say tour. It just is kind of blank. Because we don't know, I don't know if it was originally released on tour or if it was like a cross release, like it came out on Deluxe and on tour. Not saying it matters, it's just that it was kind of weird. If it's supposed to be a remastered course, you'd think that these would be like old courses that have already been made and not courses that just came out, you know? Which kind of, to me, makes me irritated about it, because, like, well, why did we get, like you said, we're going to get old courses, why don't we actually get old courses instead of getting, like, these new mobile courses? It's so weird. Like I said, this whole, like, booster pass is a weird deal. So, let's just go ahead and talk about the negatives, or some of the things that, in my opinion, I kind of, well, we'll talk about, like, what other people think. But I do have an opinion of my own that kind of makes me feel a certain way about this booster pass. So one thing a lot of people complain about is the way that the tracks look a lot like Tour. And I see it, but I kind of disagree a little bit, because a lot of these tracks, while some of them do look cartoony-ish now, and they don't have the same detail as they did, like, as original Mario Kart 8 did, you can still see some of the, like, really fine detail, like the bumps on the road and, like, some lighting effects and stuff like that. There is texture detail into these stages, so I don't really entirely believe that these maps are entirely like Mario Kart Tour. My biggest gripe with these games, or these courses, is that so far, out of these 8 courses that we've gotten, none of them really use anti-gravity. And I know this is a nitpicky opinion, but Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Mario Kart 8, they're both the same game, but because of that, it's the same philosophy, or it's the same gimmick kind of deal, you know? The game was made with, like, anti-gravity as its, like, shtick, you know? I know these are remastered courses, and it would probably take a lot of time for them to kind of, like, break up the course and make it completely different from what they have on, like, spare, like, sheet of paper, or, like, what they have in, like, the backlog. But I find it so weird that this DLC so far doesn't have any anti-gravity aspects, and it's really odd. It's not bad, but it is something that I noticed when I played it. I was like, man, it's kind of weird, you know, I haven't seen a single anti-gravity section out of the whole pack. And, you know, 1 out of 4, you know, races in the normal cups, and even some of the deals, or the retro cups, they had, like, anti-gravity spots, like Sherbert Land and Mario Circuit, and even, what was it, Wario Stadium had a little bit, you know. There was usually always a map that at least had some anti-gravity, and I just think it's kind of weird how they didn't add any into the DLC tracks. Maybe they will later, though. Maybe that'll make this whole point moot. But I will say, for right now, that's kind of one thing that's bumming me out about this whole thing. And I know it's nitpicky, but, like, that's kind of what Mario Kart 8 was built on, and I thought it was a neat mechanic. And it kind of does add a little bit of, like, strategy, because when you're in anti-gravity, bumping into players gives you, like, a little speed boost. So I feel like that kind of makes the game go faster a little bit. I don't know, it's just something to kind of spitball. I feel like that was something that was missing. But anyway, yeah, this was my opinion on the Mario Kart 8 DLC pass. You know, everybody to each their own. Whoever likes it, likes it. Whoever doesn't, doesn't. I like the game either way. I really hope they add some more GameCube, tracks. But other than that, it's pretty good. I like it. And I think I'm gonna wrap it up right here. So yeah, I'll see y'all later. Peace out.